please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
To the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hammond Redevelopment meeting for September 17th, 2013 will begin on time. Roll call, please.
Here.
Here.
Here. Motion show 4 commissioners present and 1 absent at the time. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, there is none. Communication? No communications. Number 5, minutes from September the 3rd, 2013.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for the Hammond Redevelopment Commission for September 3rd, 2013.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, motion passes. Is everyone here now, Dennis? You need to wait?
Oh, I'm just gonna mind. Yeah.
We're all here? Okay, homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for 4 applicants. You guys like to come up?
Homebound, down payment assistance, want to step up? Madam President, members of the commission, we do have 1 absentee, and that is Mary Moriarty, who is purchasing a property on 6833 Rosewood Avenue. However, the other individuals are present, and that's Jose Regalado, purchasing a property at 165th Street, Carlos Flores at 7513 Maryland, and Augustina Maya, 6621 Maryland. All are currently Hammond residents. All three are seeking the loan approval amount of $2,500 each.
I see Ms. Moriarty is seeking $3,500. She is teacher.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's, yes, she is, yes. And unable to reach her.
You discussed this, commissioners. Any questions? Has her loan been approved? You aware?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Just got these from Jennifer and was told that she was unreachable.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I would like to make a motion for the approval of the homebound conditional loan forgivable for the 3 applicants minus Mary
Moriarty?
Moriarty. She's the one who's not here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we approve for Jose, for Carlos, and for Augusta, and Mary can come to our next meeting.
Thank you. She will come to the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, motion passes.
Okay, that's it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome to Hammond.
Enjoy your new home.
Is that easy?
Okay, number 7, subordination request approval for Maria Novak.
Okay.
Is Marie here? Ms. Novak here?
Ms. Novak called about an hour ago and said she was detained and couldn't get out of work. There is a pressing matter because there's a timing issue with the subordination agreement. She's seeking a reverse mortgage with First Midwest, and they've approved her. Her subordination request has been reviewed and reviewed by staff, reviewed by me, and conditionally approved. The only issue we have is we'll try to have her make a meeting, but it's almost essential that she has an approval for the subordination for her
I
to
understand.
refinance the loan.
Any questions, commissioners? Discussion?
Okay, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion for the subordination request approval for Marie Novak, and we're requesting that maybe she shows for the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
I abstain.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes with one abstain. Okay. Approval of abatement and rehab bid awards for NSP 3 property located at 7611 Woodlawn Avenue.
Again, Madam President, members of the commission, we had purchased a property for NSP 3 at 7116 Woodlawn Avenue. And in our efforts to try to get these properties completed before the weather turns, we've been pushing them out. I appreciate you waiting until the meeting date to get these bids. We met yesterday morning at 9 o'clock to review the bids and get them in. And we'll have one more like this prior to the end of the year. However, we did open the bids Monday morning, and for the abatement, we had 3 bids, as stated in your packet, one by Industrial Insulation Solution, one by Accurate Construction, and one by Green Tree. And obviously, the bid submitted by Industrial Insulation Solution, Mr. Tomaso Maya, who, I may add, just bought a property for his business at 433 Conkey Street. So, and he has won probably the last 3 or 4 abatement of bids that we've had for NSP properties. So, again, I'm recommending, based on the review of the bids, and especially since his was substantially lower than our staff's estimate, we did review it in its entirety and found it acceptable, so we are recommending him for the bid award in the amount of $7,645 for the abatement of 7116 Woodlawn.
Dennis?
Questions, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, this industrial installation has done work for us before.
Yes.
He's always a lot lower than everybody else.
Yeah.
Why is, is there a concern there that the quality is not where it should be? I mean,
No,
business person, I don't understand.
he presents all of his documentation from the state to us. He has it on site. Boy, it's a terrible thing to say, but I think, one, he maintains a pretty low overhead for the work that he does. And if you go out there and see his workers, not to say they're not capable, okay, they're always dressed and equipped the way they're supposed to be, but it looks like he has a substantial number of people working for him that would be minimum wage or substantially lower than the larger outfit like Green Tree and Accurate.
He has all the necessary permits and insurance and...
Yeah, yes, he does. It's hard to say, and I've talked to our environmental engineer, Zach Heine from Americo, and I said, is there something I'm missing? What's more important is he usually, on a job like this, will complete it in a week or less. I mean, he's got his guys out there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're out there to, till they can't do any more on that particular project. He moves the windows, boards up the house, puts the safety tape around the property, puts the warning signs up. We've never had an issue, and I would say 9 times out of 10 will pass his clearance exam the first time through. Very seldom do we have to go back a second time for him.
Satisfactory work.
Yeah.
So you would say, Dennis, historically, his performance has met or exceeded your expectations?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, Dennis, just for the record, on the agenda, it said 7611, and then in your paperwork,
Oh,
I'm assuming it is 7116.
it's 7116. It's right behind Solon's funeral home there on the alley.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we had the correct address.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I would like to make a motion for the approval of the abatement and rehab bid awards for NSP 3 property located at 7116 Woodline Avenue, Hammond.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Hang on, did we get a second?
Yes, we did, Kathy.
Okay, we didn't get to the rehab bid yet, so before you guys vote on it, why don't we have Dennis talk about the rehab bid for 7116 Woodlawn?
We also have opened up the bids, and there were 3 bids submitted for the rehabilitation of 7116 Woodlawn Avenue. As you can see, our estimated costs for that rehab was $95,000. The lowest bid that came in was Havmac Construction at $74,771. That's the one we are recommending for approval for the award. And again, Havmac Construction has done, I'll say, acceptable, more than acceptable work through our properties. If you want, I'll be glad to forward via your email the last property he did at 176th Street. We had a virtual tour that was just completed. It's beautiful.
I would like that.
It's beautiful.
Where did you say that Havmac is out of?
He's out of Hammond. He and Gora share space on Columbia Avenue, on about 167th and Columbia on the west side of the street.
He's done a lot of work for the city that I know of since I've been on the commission.
Yeah.
Havman has.
Yeah, I've seen their work.
Yeah.
Their finished product is above and beyond expectation.
So just for the purposes of the record, your motion then, since you made it for both, would be to award the abatement bid to Industrial Insulation Solution, Inc. for $76.45 and to award the rehabilitation work to Havmac Construction for $74,771.
Do I need to repeat it?
No, I'm just confirming.
I second that.
You got a second?
Okay, so that's the motion on the table.
So he so moved. Any more questions, discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present. Okay, number 9.
Number 9, I have 2 new individuals being presented to the commission for the purchase of NSP properties and the related maximum amount for the affordability assistance allowance. Those 2 individuals are here. Daniel Trevino is working, but Jessica Felix is here, and they are buying the property that I just discussed at 842 176th Street. They currently reside in Munster, and they're purchasing that house on 176th Street for $105,500, which was the average of the 2 appraisals that we recently received. And they're seeking the maximum affordability assistance allowance of $21,001. We haven't not taken an official application from them, but they've got a formal approval from BMO Bank, and we'll be taking their application shortly. I did an interview with them and qualified them informally based on income and other reasons, so they are qualified NSP home buyers.
It's good to see that the housing market is getting better. And in recent, in my neighborhood anyway, it's looking much better than it was in.
And we have for the other property at 3018 Crane Place, a buyer, Miss Mickey Pogue, who is returning to Hammond from a stay in southern Indiana and currently residing at 2726 162nd Place in Hammond. She is purchasing 3018 Crane Place for $97,500, and her maximum affordability assistance allowance is going to be $19,500. And not to forget about this guy, but I think she could speak for the house that she had walked through. Mickey, you saw that house and you didn't want to go see any more, right? Okay. first one, and you were sold on it. So Mickey is purchasing that property as well.
Any more questions, Commissioner? Discussion?
Madam President?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for approval of the purchase of NSP Properties Affordability Assistance Allowances for the two applicants at 3018 Crane Place and 842 176th Street.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. Congratulations.
Then if I have one more on that list, we had an individual appear at the last redevelopment commission meeting, Andrea Horbrook, who was here with her father and was approved for the purchase of 1013 to 1015 May for $115,000. She is ready and set to close with one exception. Her lender sent their appraiser out there, and he appraised the property at $100,000. And she wanted to reduce her offer to the appraised value because she couldn't get a loan for the 115. I reviewed the file and noticed that the appraisals that we had in the file were almost a year old. HUD requirements are that the appraisals be no more than 6 months old. We went ahead, reappraised the properties with our two appraisals, issued the 10-day notice. It was published on September 3rd. Nobody responded to the notice, so she is the only person who is still interested in purchasing the property at this time. So we're seeking a revision in the purchase price and the affordability assistance down to from $115,000 to $100,000, and the assistance allowance reduced accordingly. I reviewed their appraiser before I even countered anything, or reviewed their appraiser's work, the lender's appraiser's work. There was nothing wrong with it. It met all the standards of current appraisals. It's that ours were, and I know what President Lambert just said, but unfortunately, values in that area, when I reviewed our new appraisals and the bank's appraisal, the values have dropped for that so-called two-unit properties in that neighborhood.
So what do we need for that? We need a motion to approve that?
To
then-
revise it to 100,000.
So then my question would be to the other commissioners and our attorney, that's doable, right? Because
It is, because he went
it's
and
meeting,
got,
and so then I would, if it is doable, I'd like to make a motion to accept that,
Okay.
unless there's a problem.
no, the motion would be to modify the approval for Andrea Horbrook for 1013 through 1015 May Street for a purchase price of $100,000 and the maximum affordability assistance allowance for $20,000.
I'd like to so move that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Commissioners, for your time and patience.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being with us, Dennis. Number 10, public hearing. City of Hammond substantial amendment for use of community development block grant funds.
Commissioners, the purpose of the public hearing is to reallocate $300,000 of prior year grant funds from a Macaulay Clinic facility improvements that was canceled to the Job Creation and Business Expansion Program, which is run by our Economic Development Department.
Macaulay Clinic is run by Economic Development?
No.
No?
The Macaulay Clinic facility improvements?
I can't hear you.
Okay, it was canceled, okay. Thank you. Any questions, Commissioners?
You need to open a public hearing.
Yeah, okay. I now open the public hearing.
Alvin Cheeks, 832 Merrill Street, Hammond, Indiana. I would really like to see those dollars used to, number one, create a basketball court in Harrison Park. If we're talking about job creation, that would create economic development for the minority community. Our biggest thing in our community is that, number one, we have an influx of students that like to play basketball and that kind of thing. We don't have enough basketball courts in the city of Hammond. If we're talking about job creation, we have a lot of big projects in the city of Hammond, but the lack of Hispanics, Latinos, and Mexican Americans on those projects are very low. In terms of African Americans, you don't see any from the city of Hammond, being the fact that we do have a hiring ordinance. And I would like to see those dollars created where we can be on the canal project, created where we can be at the Harrison Park project. And we need a place where the students can practice golf too. So the practical things that we need, those are not being met, being that those dollars are in the red zone, which is CGB allocation dollars, and comes to the second and third district and a little bit of a couple other target areas. So I would hope that sooner or later that basketball court would be recreated in Harrison Park, which it was there. You know, if you look at overhead aerials and you look at those things, that court was there. So I would hope that, you know, overall the economic development dollars that are being poured into other areas, that we can have some of the things we need. Also, too, there needs to be a cross sidewalk where you can go east and west in that park. If you're a handicapped person or a senior citizen, you can't use a wheelchair on grass, and you can't use a four-prong walker in the grass. So if they would create those kind of things, maybe more seniors and people with disabilities could use Harrison Park. And being that the park is there for veterans, you know, a lot of veterans that I've met, you know, some of them are disabled, so that would allow them to view some of the events that happen in Harrison Park. Also, too, those dollars should be used in Dr. Martin Luther King Park and, Dr. Martin Luther King Park. Historically, in the last 3 years, we've seen like a 12% drop in economic development projects in the third district. If you look at a whole in terms of cap projects, like we spent $77 million on a Weatherby program that does not encompasses minorities in terms of job growth. Also, too, it used to be a statistic that would track how many minorities and how many people of ethnic color are on projects. So you don't see that statistic anymore in the statutes. I did go over to Region 5 HUD today to take a look, and I didn't see it in terms of how they used to track numbers. They used to have a compliance officer in the city of Hammond in terms of that would go out to those projects and ensure that we get our fair share of the economic jobs in the city of Hammond. So that's what I would like to see with the $300,000. The other thing with the $300,000, how's it going to ensure that we get our fair share of the jobs? You know, it's constant projects in the area, like the one that was at Harrison Park. They didn't even have an employment office. I went there myself and knocked on the trailer. It was nowhere to even put in an application. I'm a union guy, and I know the drill. You're supposed to go to the union hall and all of that. But there also should be a way for a person to get on a job site that does not have a union card. Historically, with state projects, they make it where people can get on those job sites without a local 41 card or without a building trade card. I just like to see those things happen in Hammond. Earlene Rogers has a project, Senator Earlene Rogers, excuse me. When there's projects in her district, they ensure by making the contractors do job fairs when they start the programs. So that is what I'm saying we need in our area. If we're gonna spend it for job creation, why not have a job fair where those people can come out and actually know that they can receive a job? Because technically, Indiana is a right-to-work state now, so you don't need a local 41 union card. I'm a union guy, and the union guys always hit me on that, asking for jobs for non-union people. But I just like to see that happen with our $300,000, that we make sure that we get our fair share of economic development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chief.
Anyone else? Close public meeting, hearing, whatever. Number 11, reports. Bill, isn't here, Lonnie got something for us?
The only thing that I have is the ribbon cutting that's coming up in Harrison Park for our tennis courts. The posts have been put in, the nets will be delivered to the park tomorrow, and the ribbon cutting is on Thursday, September the 19th at 3:30 p.m. So I hope that a number of you will be able to come out. Thank you.
You have any questions, Ms. Miller? I hope you have a great turnout, Alana. Sorry, I won't be able to attend.
Attorney Westman had something.
I was just gonna, because, you know, you're missing Phil's very eloquent report, so I didn't want to.
Would you like to stand in for Mr. Taylor?
I just wanted to tell you and report to you that yesterday, the land sale on the Munster Steel project was closed. And today, the bond sale closed. And according to the developer, construction will begin within a week. And they're looking at about a 270-day turnaround on that project. So next spring, late spring, early summer, probably midsummer, knowing construction delays, but it is moving forward.
Awesome.
All right.
Very good.
And if Chelsea has any questions, she can call Phil.
Call Dave, Chelsea. Okay. Anyone else? Number 12, pay some bills.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for August 20th through September 12th. Claim number R49114 through R49305.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Number 13, new and unfinished business. I don't know if this, I'd like to announce that the mayor's night out will be tomorrow, Wednesday, at 6:30 p.m. at Haas Charter School. And we see projects like Harrison Park come along again. Okay, number 14, public comments. You have 3 minutes. Since we don't have any public commenting, I'd like to recognize our lovely councilwoman, Jan Vaness. And I'd like to wish my sister Opal happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I'd like to welcome my sister from Texas. She's coming to visit us. Okay, number 18. 15, well, it looks like it ain't. I put a line through it, so.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right. All in favor, say doo-doo.
Aye.
All right.